Hey, welcome back, adventurers. It's time for another series here. And this one is follow-up to that Respec video. So if you haven't figured out how to Respec, there is a video. I'll put it up here in the top where you can click. And the consequences of that is that we get to rebuild two of our characters. And so this video is going to be all about how I'm leveling and adjusting Valerie and Amiri and really setting them up for success with gear and all that. So dig in and enjoy. And then you can go with whatever class you want. In this case, I'm going to prefer to go with Fighter. And instead of going Tower Shield Specialist, which I find pretty weak, honestly, I'm just going to go with a straight out Fighter. Now, once we're here, you'll see she does have this 27 points. That seems like a lot. And it is. It's more than typical. So now you can also select the human bonus, racial bonus. So I'm going to put it in Strength. And what I'm planning on doing with my version of Valerie is make her into a sword and board character that fights with a shield. So I'm going to need Strength, but I'm also going to need to qualify for the 2-weapon fighting feat. And that requires a dexterity of 15. Now you might think, wow, dexterity is probably wasted on a full plate wearing character. They only get +1 dex to their armor. So this +2 is a waste. Well, the fighter, the typical fighter, unlocks armor proficiency bonuses that extend the maximum dexterity. So she'll be able to take advantage of that class feature now, which is super nice. And then I also recommend you take your Strength up. I would take it up to what would be a 16 before the racial bonus to get a +2, bring it up to 18. And that's going to give us a much better to hit, carry capacity so she's not fatigued all the time. And it's going to give her more damage. So it's super nice. And of course, she's still our tank. We want her to have some constitution. So I'm going to take that up to 16. Now, personally, if I were making a fighter in a pen and paper or whatever, I might have some character things that I like. But you'll notice we have 3 strength here. Or not 3 strength, but 3 skill points. And the only skills that require intelligence are these 2 right here. Not really anything that she's going to be using. So I'm going to tank it. And you'll notice it doesn't matter how low we take it. 9, 8, 7. We still end up with the same skill points. The only thing it changes is these get a -2. But we get 4 more points. And then also, I don't think she's really going to be useful as Persuasion or Use Magic Device in my game. Use Magic Device might be useful for scrolls and special abilities and whatnot, but I'm going to drop it. I'm using my main character for my socializing, so I'm going to take it all the way down there. And I want more Wisdom because I want better willpower saves. And you see as I'm mousing over down the bottom left over there, you'll see Will is highlighted. So when I bring this up to 12, it boosts up by 1. And I got lots of points, so if I wanted to, I could take this up pretty high. I could take it up 15. That, might not be a bad plan. The reason for this is at level 4, you get an attribute bonus, so you can put it into Dex or Wisdom and get that up to a +3. And then at level 8, you'll get another one. You can do it again. So, super handy. Alternatively, you can take that back down, and I think you can get back to... I think that right there would be pretty decent. You get more skill points. And so it's really what you prefer. Will saves are really important, so I would probably recommend that build instead. But if you like skill points, this is another option. So for the sake of things, we'll just go with this current one. And I would probably put, in this case, Summon World, Mobility, Athletics, and Perception, so she's good at guard duty. Now for feats, we already kind of discussed this. I'm going to go with 2-weapon fighting. And if you don't know much about 2-weapon fighting, there are a lot of penalties that go into this. So typically when you use a second weapon, you get a -6 to your regular attack and a -10 to your offhand. And that means you will never hit. But with this feat, you reduce those penalties in your main hand from -6 down to -4. And your offhand goes from -10 also to -4. So, -4, -4. That's not bad, but it's still a problem. Now, the advantage of what we're going to be doing is we're going to put a light weapon in our offhand. And the light weapon in our offhand is going to be a light shield. Most people would kind of prefer that heavy shield. It does a little bit more damage on shield bash. It's got a little bit more AC. But it comes with a bigger armor check penalty. And like I said here, we're going to be missing out on to hit. And to hit is really important in this game. So I would definitely use that light shield to reduce the penalties another 2, which will bring our total down to -2. and we'll have an extra attack out of it. Now our offhand attack only gets half our strength, so it is tempting to go with double slice, which is going to allow you to get your full strength modifier on your offhand attacks. But I'm not going to do that just now. I'm going to take shield bash, and that's going to allow us to actually swing our shield around as a weapon, and that's super nice. And then we got one more feat. She is a tank, so I am going to take shield focus to get us one more AC. And that's how we'll start her. Now her main character is typically lawful neutral, so I'll keep that the same. And boom, she's done. She's all respec. Now I have a level up on her, so I'll show you how I would level her up personally and how I am in the current game. I'm going to take her into fighter again. So we're going to unlock that bravery and another feat. And you'll also notice she's a full attack bonus character, so she'll get another +1 here. And we'll go with our skills again, so we'll just dump some stuff in here. Like so. Boom. And what I'm going to go with this time is Missile Shield. So this is going to allow us to catch one ranged attack, not including a spell effect or natural attack or massive range weapon, but like an arrow. And it's going to prevent it from hitting you. Boom. Done and done. Way better tank than she was to begin with. Alright, so
Resting would be nice, don't you
we're
think?
not going to rest. We got more video to make. So we're going to hit Respecialization again. This time we're going to Amiri, and I'm going to show you how I would build her.
I'm hungry. When we stop.
Alright, so again, portrait right there. Good to go. We'll go human again just to keep her the same as she normally is. You can kind of monkey around with the appearance if you like. And we're going to go barbarian. Typically she is the standard barbarian. It's okay. You get this uncanny dodge, danger sense. The uncanny dodge is nice against rogues. It prevents you from getting snuck attack, which is cool. I like that. But I prefer invulnerable rager. And that's because you get a little bit of damage reduction against either fire or cold. Take your pick. But then you get half your level of damage just reduced off the top from any physical source. So not magic, but anything slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning is going to get reduced by half your level. And since she gets hit all the time, damage reduction is super handy. So we're going to go with that. And you'll see she's only got 20 points. If we'd done the other option, we could have got 25. I meant to do that, so let's back out.
A rest would be welcome.
Alright, so if you don't want that 20 points, instead you want the full points, toggle this add 25 points to it. Spend your money. We get back into here.
Resting would be
Pick our
nice,
portrait,
don't you think?
and we'll go in. So we'll take that, we'll go with our invulnerable rager like we just discussed, and now we have 25 points. So how would I build her? Well, she is not very personable, she's very rude. She's dumber than a box of rocks, and yet she still gets 3 skill points. Super nice. So we're going to go ahead and go with strength. She's big, beefy two-hander, so we're going to take this up. And we're probably going to take this up to 20. We're going to get a little bit of dex, so I'll take it up to 13 just so she can qualify for dodge and stuff later on. And we're going to go up to at least 16 here. And then just like before, we're going to take this up. I would take it up probably to 13. Just so, again, we can make those same kind of decisions later. Now you notice this is awfully similar to the last build we just made. And that's because it's just a universally good spec for upfront and personal character. And again, skill-wise, I would probably go athletics, mobility, and nature for her. And then what I'm going to pick for in terms of feats, she hits hard, she needs to hit harder, and that's power attack. Now normally she doesn't have the accuracy because of her original build, but now we do, and it is super good. Now another thing that is a weakness on her is her willpower save. Getting hit with stuns and mind controls and stuff is a recipe for disaster, so I'm going to take Iron Will and give her a +2 to her will saving throws. Boom. And I think she's chaotic neutral, so we'll go ahead and keep her that. And I should have fixed that portrait, but make sure you do that on yours. Now, I have a level up to level 2, so what am I going to do with level 2? I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to take Alchemist. And not the traditional Alchemist, I'm going to go Vivisectionist. Now, this one will not get a full attack bonus, so we lose 1 to hit bonus. But our saving throws improve, so we get better fortitude and better reflex. And we also pick up some new abilities. So we get a mutagen, which is the big thing we're here for. And this is going to allow us to modify our physical stats during the game. So for 10 minutes per alchemist level, so in our case 10 minutes, we'll be able to boost one of our physical stats by 4, which is going to give us a +2 to hit, +2 to damage basically. And we're going to get 2 bonus from our armor class, and we'll also lose 2 from something else. So in this case, if we boosted strength, which is what we're going to do, we'll lose 2 intelligence, which in our case doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So it's all win-win. The other thing we get is sneak attack. So if you get your character in a position to flank, or if your opponent is flat-footed, you get extra damage. Who doesn't want extra damage? Super nice. So that's what she's all about. Now, she also will unlock tons of new class skills. So this makes her even better at the sorts of things you want her to be good at. Boom. And then we get one selection of a spell. And in this case, we're going to take Enlarge Person just to keep going with this theme of big, bad, nasty damage. So she'll be able to enlarge herself, give herself a mutagen, and that's going to give her more strength. In this case, 2 more strength. She'll lose some dex. She'll lose a little accuracy and AC, but her weapon will do more damage. So excellent. All around good stuff. She'll also have throw anything, so she'll be able to throw splash weapons and stuff with more effect. And that's how I would build her. I think Lindsay is sufficiently good the way she is. Doesn't really need a big respec. And your main character is however you built it. So this has been the way that I would go. In terms of weapons and loadout,
I am your shield.
you're still going to want to rock her out with, this is Valerie, with full plate. And you're going to notice she no longer has the ability to use her bastard sword because we got rid of the exotic proficiency. So I would recommend a longsword, masterwork longsword in this case. And I would also recommend that light shield, like we discussed, for all those reasons we described earlier. With Amiri,
Done with waiting.
I would probably go with an Earthbreaker. An Earthbreaker is going to be 2d6 damage. It is a two-handed weapon, of course. I would go Masterwork. But it's bludgeoning damage, so that way you have a little bit of variety in your party. So you don't just have one damage type in case you run into something that can resist slashing, for instance. Instead of having a 19 to 20 crit range, which means more probability of a crit, the Earthbreaker has more damage on a crit, so it's ×3 multiplier, and it's only on a 20. But the nice thing about not having this large bastard sword is we don't have the penalties for using something that's oversized. So she'll be a lot more accurate, she's going to have a ton more strength, she's just going to be a murder machine. And that's how I would build Amiri. Alright, well, thank you so much for coming. Hope that was helpful. And remember, you can do this as many times as you want, so long as you got the money. So make sure you like if you enjoyed this, if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Until next time, catch you later.